Well, hey guys, good morning. Here it is, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. Thank you so much for deciding to join me today. Really a privilege and pleasure to be with all of you wonderful, great people on Sunday. This is May 18, 2025. And again, it's great to be with you. You guys know that we have a really amazing master topic for the week, and that's building a better world through love, resilience, and renewal. So that is our master topic of the week. And our granular for today, in case you were wondering, is stay committed and persevere during hardships. Series 4, Show 21, Episode number 2. If you haven't had the chance, ladies and gentlemen, to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and check that out right after the show or 24 hours a day. You can even get up at 1 o'clock in the morning if you want. Oh, by the way, after you've checked out BelieveMeAchieve.com, there's so much great stuff for you to do every single day, whether it's short form, long form content. Definitely check that out. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are thirsty or maybe you just got up or maybe you're hungry, feel free to go get something from the kitchen, whether it's sweet, whether it's healthy, whether it's tart or not. That choice is totally up to you. So welcome, everyone. It is a privilege, like I said, to be with you. You know, life doesn't always move in straight lines, unfortunately. Sometimes it throws us curveballs that shake our confidence, and they test our resolve and make us question the path we're on. But in these very moments of life, when we're quitting, it seems like the easy way out is there. True growth is actually starting to be born. Staying committed during hardship isn't about being perfect or unshaken. It's about pushing forward despite the discomfort. Believing in your vision, even when results are nowhere in sight. In today's episode, I'm going to share even, let's say, some more powerful points, actually, 7 of them to help you stay committed and persevere when things get tough, right? We always have to say that the tough gets going. So definitely tune in now, take your notes, and let's reignite that passion to build resilience together. All right. Number 1, understand the why behind your commitment. Your why is the anchor in any storm, kind of like the why that we have on a boat, right? The anchor that holds us from floating off to shore or all around the ocean or the bay. It's the deep reason that fuels your actions and gives meaning to your struggles. When you're facing adversity, it's easy to lose sight of the big picture. That's why reconnecting with your purpose is essential. Whether it's a personal goal, a professional mission, or a lifelong dream, remind yourself why it matters to you. Write it down, say it out loud, reaffirm it daily. A strong why will outlast any temporary how. Remember that, guys. I know sometimes you might get, let's say, worried because, things don't look the way you want them to now. That's no reason to give up. Number 2, accept that setbacks are part of life. It's part of the journey. Setbacks aren't roadblocks, folks. They're stepping stones. Every successful person has faced failure at least one point of another or not, or rejection. But what seems to set them apart is how they respond to it. Accepting that challenge and those challenges that surface are a natural part of growth. And when we do that, it allows us to shift or pivot our mindset from frustration to an opportunity. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what can I learn from this? With the shift, even the hardest moments can become your greatest teachers. Number 3, guys, discipline outlasts motivation. I think this is one that a lot of people don't realize, but it is the truth. Motivation is great, right? But it's fleeting. You might feel inspired one day and then completely drained the next. That's where discipline takes over. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. See, build consistent habits that align with your goals. Get up early, stick to your plan, and follow through every single time. Over time, you will start to notice discipline becomes your superpower and allows you to push forward on days when, let's just face it, motivation, well, it's just not there for you. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is important to accept these setbacks. setbacks, okay? And really enjoy the journey and the fact that you can learn from them. Number three, discipline. Yes, outlasts motivation. And so, like I'm saying to you, it's very, very important that we understand that, which I just stayed there. Number four, adapt, don't quit. When something doesn't go according to plan, it's not a sign to give up. It's a cue to pivot your life. Flexibility is key to long term successes. Rigid thinking limits creativity and progress of your life. But when you allow yourself to adapt, you open up new doors. Maybe you need a new approach, a different tool, or even a pause to reevaluate where you stand. That's not failure, it's strategy. Remember, growth happens not just when you persist, but when you evolve. We had a show about evolution, if you remember, a week or two ago. Number five, lean on your support system. You don't have to go through hard times alone. Leaning on mentors, friends, family, or even support groups can remind you that you're not isolated. Sometimes just talking to someone who understands can rekindle your energy. Don't be afraid to ask for help or any kind of encouragement. We are wired for connection, and even the strongest amount with us needs support. Vulnerability isn't a weakness, guys. It's a human strength, and I think a lot of people on this earth feel that if they ask for help, that means they're a failure. No, it means that they are truly embracing life and that they want to learn from life. All right. I think that's something that's really, really important for everyone to understand that. Again, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's human strength. Number six, celebrate small wins. Don't wait until you've reached the mountaintop to celebrate, like many people do. Acknowledge every step forward. When you recognize your small victories, you build momentum and reinforce your belief in yourself. So maybe it's finishing a tough task, sticking to your plan for a week, or simply showing up when it was hard to. These moments deserve your applause. Celebrating keeps the journey enjoyable and fuels your motivation to keep going. Number seven, guys, visualize the outcome. I can't stress this enough. Your mind is a powerful tool. Use it to your advantage. Visualization activates the same neural pathways as physical action. When you regularly imagine yourself succeeding, staying strong, and reaching your goals, you prime your brain's pump to make it real for you. Create a vivid mental picture of what success looks like. What will you feel from it? Where will you be? What will it mean to you? Let that vision pull you through the tough days, which they're going to come. I'm sorry. And keep you aligned with your purpose, with your core values. Now, I know a lot of people that fleet because they think that if they do that, that life will just get easier for them. I got news for you guys. It's not going to get easier. Okay. It's not going to get easier until you realize that you've got to make some mistakes, right? I said this once before. If you are not making mistakes, and guess what? You're not learning anything, right? We have to learn from that. Now, here's the part of the show that I really, really enjoy. You know what that is. That's when I basically give you basically a personal lesson. And it's for each one of the points. And hopefully this will solidify what these things mean in real life. Okay. And I know you might be saying to me, John, well, I never make mistakes. Well, then that also means you're not growing. It means you're not willing to grow. Okay. I think a mindset is important to realize because when we have a certain mindset, it's like things flow, right? Really well. But they can't flow if you constantly put up roadblocks and barriers everywhere, right? You got to cut yourself a little bit of slack. And I know there might be outside factors or could be reasons for anything from personal factors to you name it, guys. But I think the most important thing is realizing that you have more power than you think. You just have to choose to embrace it. I think that's something that a lot of people, they just don't realize it. They don't realize that they have that ability. And I think that'll change who you are in life. So here's my first one: understanding the why behind your commitment. I remember a time early in my entrepreneurial journey when everything seemed to be just falling apart, crumbling in front of me. Clients were backing out, finances were tight, and my confidence was on, let's say, a little bit worse than shaky ground. I almost walked away from everything. But one night I sat down and I asked myself, why did I even start this company? Why did I even start on this mission? The answer hit me hard like a rock. I wanted to empower others with technology. I wanted to empower others to become a better version of themselves, to make a real difference in people's life. Uh-huh. So now that I had that at the forefront of my mind and in my heart, that core value, that purpose reignited something inside me that was dormant for many years. When you reconnect with your strong why, your path suddenly appears, and much clearer than it did in the past. And the noises of those doubts will just start to slowly fade away. It's not just about a success, it's about a significance. But I know when I'm talking to all of you today, you're probably saying to me, John, I get this, but you don't understand my situation. You don't understand like what happened to me. You don't understand what's happened to my family. You don't know about the hard time I had. You don't know about this. You don't know about that. I don't need to know about that. I've had hard challenges too. I had a lady I coached completely for free because it was in my beginning days and I wanted to help her. And I said, I'm not going to charge you a penny. I just ask that whatever I tell you to do, you will do without question. Do you understand? She said, yes, absolutely. Without giving the whole story, I'm just going to tell you that it turned very positively. I said, give me 7 days. In 6 days, her whole life changed. And she was financially free. And she was able to do everything she wanted to do because now she had a plan in her life. And I think that was really what was missing. Number 2, guys, accept that setbacks are part of the journey. When I launched my first product, and I'll tell you what it was actually called, it was an alarm system, and it was called Alarms to Go. I was so proud of it. I was actually embarrassed and tempted to crawl into a hole when it didn't work. What happened was this product that I got this great idea to put together, wireless alarm system and market and all this stuff. I was so happy about it that I guess I was sharing my ideas with other people, which I never should have done because you don't know who you can trust. We started dumping money into commercials, flew out to California, and doing all great stuff, set up call centers to take the calls from the infomercials. And about 2 weeks after we're on TV, I walk into a store. I'm not going to tell you what store. And I see my product. It doesn't say Alarms to Go. It has some other name on it. And I was like, well, how can that be? Like, how can that even be? And they basically saw my product and they copied it. I didn't have a trademark. I didn't have a patent or anything on it, but I was just starting out. So the biggest thing I did was I shared it with too many people, and I didn't have a patent, even provisional status, before I made it public on air. And there were some bad actors that actually hurt me and kind of drove that product out of its life before it even got a chance to live. After licking my wounds, I looked at the experience objectively and realized that the failure gave me insight into what my audience truly wanted. The product was great, but the way I executed it sucked. That flop became fuel. Every setback I face since then reminds me growth isn't linear. It zigs, it zags. Accept this truth, and it'll help you bounce back faster than you ever could imagine. Instead of blaming yourself, you could start asking better questions, right? And that's where real evolution happens. So if you ask yourself, why is this me? Or why is this happening to me? you're going to keep getting answers, and it's going to keep reinforcing the fact that you're going nowhere. And it's going to make you a little bit sad and a little bit depressed, if you will. And so, with this notion, I can understand that things like this can happen, guys. And I know that you're going to be driven to want to do something, but when you don't believe in yourself, okay, when you don't do something from your core, when you don't realize that a mistake, that a setback, that a failure, like this big product that I spent thousands of dollars on to go on air and call centers to be trained, and this thing was a multi-million dollar concept, but I never protected it. And I told some people that I thought were my friends. So, lesson one is don't share your ideas with anybody until the proof of concept is already out there or until you're ready to execute. Instead of blaming yourself, start asking better questions. And when you ask better questions like, what do I need to do to be successful? Now, I'm going to share something with you. I'm not going to share the whole business model, but we're launching something actually today, and I'm really excited. It's a new publication. I'm not going to give you too many details on it, but it's a local publication, and we're doing this in a very unique flair. And today, at Franklin Lakes Day, which is a day that happens once a year, I'm going to announce it to the community. I'm going to ask for advertisers, supporters, and I'm going to tell people roughly when the first issue is coming out, which is going to be about a month from now, maybe a little bit less, but it'll be sometime in June. And I know that this is going to go somewhere. I know that because it's geared to people in the community and it's cost effective, it's going to definitely drive some results. So zigs and zags, guys, are the success ingredient for the best recipe on your journey in life. And when you start to notice little signs of a real evolution happening, you'll smile. The energy will pour in, and guess what? You're going to do more of that. We have said before that Einstein has said, when we do the same thing over and over again, expect different results. We get insanity. None of us are insane, right? I know that. So we're not going to do the same thing and expect different results. We're going to change it up. We're going to tweak things, okay? Number 3, discipline outlasts motivation every single time. Motivation's good, and it can get the fire started, right? Just like kindling get your fire started, but kindling is not going to keep the fire going. We need some solid logs on there. So there have been mornings when I didn't want to get out of bed, let alone record a podcast or meet with clients in the very beginning. Motivation had packed up and basically went on a vacation. But because I had built routines, non-negotiable morning habits, a content schedule, and a clear plan, I showed up anyway. And you know what? Half the battle is just showing up in life. Over time, that discipline forged results that motivation alone will never be able to deliver, right? Somebody once told me, if you motivate somebody or yourself to do something, and that something is not, let's say, productive, you have a motivated, unproductive person, or the nastier term was a motivated idiot. I don't like to call people idiots, but if you're doing the thing over and over again, you've got a motivated, insane person because they're just doing the same thing over and over again and they're not getting results, right? So build that routine. Enjoy the stuff that you do, because motivation is not enough, okay? It's not about waiting to feel ready. It's about being committed enough to act when you don't. This reminds me of a very, very apropos quote. People always say, strike where the iron is hot. Although that is very good, I want to flip it and make it something you can do so you're proactive and not retroactive, right? If the iron's hot and you have to wait for it to get hot, I can't do anything till the iron gets hot. Like, that's stupid. So strike to get the iron hot. You might have heard the phrase, if you're you have to wait for your boat to come into you. No, don't wait for your boat to come into you. Swim out and get it. All right. And I think that's something that's going to change your whole mental outlook. All right. Number 4, adapt Don't quit. Be like a chameleon, like a lot of the animals out there. Back when one of my major business strategies started to crumble, as I told you in the very beginning, I was faced with a choice: stick stubbornly to what used to work or shift my course and pivot slightly. I chose to adapt, testing new ideas, learning new platforms, and engaging with different audiences. And that pivot opened doors I hadn't even imagined. Quitting would close the book forever. Adapting rewrote the story. Life rarely hands you a perfect plan, but if you stay flexible, you'll find a way to win, even if it looks different than you originally imagined. So I think a lot of people expect success to come in, I don't know, they expect it to come in a nice little box. Like I have a little box here, okay? Or they expect it to come in a package like a tape measure, or or a little container like this, right? Or maybe they expect success to come in a circle, or they expect it to come in a straight line, right? Or maybe they expect it to come in a way that you think would actually be the way it should be. But the truth of the matter is, success can come in many, many different ways. And if you're constantly looking for success in a way and not open to a new way, you might miss a multi-million dollar opportunity or that great relationship, right? Number 5, guys, lean on your support system. Do you remember the song Lean on Me? Can't really sing it here because that would be a violation of copyright, but there's a myth that strong people don't ask for help. That's a lie. Some of my biggest breakthroughs came after honest conversations with mentors and friends. During a particularly tough season, a close friend listened and reminded me of who I was and what I'd already overcome and my accomplishments, and stroked my ego a little bit. That moment lifted me up more than any self help book ever could. Surround yourself with positive people who see your strength, even when you can't. Community isn't just comfort, guys, it is courage. And I know so many people out there that get discouraged because their family's not motivating them, because they don't have a way to see past that cloud when they need to do something. Number 6, guys, celebrate your small wins. I've talked about this before. Celebrate your small wins. I used to only celebrate a while ago the big achievements, the ones, that were worthy of it on the books. New clients, big contracts, major milestones. But I realized I was missing something very important. The day I started acknowledging the small wins, like completing my content for the week or getting positive feedback on a post, my energy shifted. I felt more present, more motivated. And if you know, I think it's been over a year or more that I have been writing out little to-do lists just like this. And so typically, like after the show is done, I will come over here and I will, like I had to do something called the pre-show, which I did before. So now after the show's done, I check off IFL show, then I do a post. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that we have to celebrate that small win, right? We have to celebrate it. And it's important, okay? Really, really important. As I said, they remind you that you're progressing, and that's worth celebrating every single time. You see, when your mind and your body know that you're happy and you're grateful and that you're enjoying it, it changes the flow, it increases the dopamine in your brain. And that, my friends, will propel you to an entirely different level. Now, my last point for today is visualize the outcome. Every successful project I've led began with a clear picture in my mind of what it would look like, feel like, and mean to people it served. When doubt would creep in, I'd close my eyes and revisit the vision. I'd see the smiles, hear the testimonies, and feel the sense of pride. The visualization kept me anchored. It wasn't a fantasy, it was a future focused thinking perspective. When your vision is vivid, it becomes magnetic, and that pull can carry you through the heaviest resistance. And I don't care whether you've got, let's say, 1 pound holding against you or 1,000 pounds holding against you. You can surpass any obstacle. But the key ingredients, folks, is, you know what I'm going to say, belief, right? Belief. That is my slogan. BelieveMeAchieve.com. If you start to understand that belief is not just a word, belief is something that can change your whole outlook in the fraction of a second. So, where I kind of want to lead now, and I think it's a really important point, is because we've talked about a lot today, is you know, what questions can I ask myself so that I will be successful? What questions can I ask? Again, you have to ask the right questions, as I said. It's power. Why do I want to be successful? Well, I want to be successful, continue to be successful because it gives me a sense of freedom. Um, I love the smile on my face. I love to put smiles on other people's faces. What does success look like for me? Success looks like my world, as dynamic as it is just always abundant. Abundant with resources, whether that's money, whether that's health, whether that's friends. And I have this natural attraction that people just kind of come to me. In the past, it was like, oh, John, you're nobody. But I'm not nobody. Nobody is a nobody, guys. Am I working toward my vision or something else? In other words, am I working toward my vision or someone else's expectations? I remember somebody saying this to me a long time. John, work on your own dreams or you'll be fulfilling someone else's. If I could wave a magic wand and be doing anything, what would I be doing in 5 years? Well, I'm in my new home and I have plenty of staff in all of my companies. I've built a new building and I'm a world renowned international speaker, not just national. I have my master's and my PhD. And my first book is already out. And I've built a brand new studio where we don't just do podcasts like this, we do a full shot in a chair, like not just here at my desk. And I think those are important things for me. That's what success can look like for me. What am I doing right now? I'm increasing my education. I'm looking at things that I can do on a small scale. And when I do that, folks, you know what happens? I celebrate that small scale. Like right now, this project I'm working on is very small, but I know it has potential to really blossom. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys in the amazing times here on Inspiration for Your Life and all my other great shows. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, and I'll catch you real soon. Have a great rest of your weekend.